So you did the 5 and 1, you lost your weight, you met your goal. What's next? You transition to the 4 and 2, 4 meal replacements, 2 lean and greens. So what do you do when you go to the grocery store? My goal isn't for you to buy off of my webpage for the rest of your life and to always buy these foods. I still do because I like the way they taste, and if you do and you like the way they make your body feel, then keep it up. But you don't have to, and that's not my goal. My goal is to help you get healthy, and here are some things I buy at the grocery store instead of always buying foods off of my webpage. So I still buy my lean and green foods. Here I have some organic baby spinach. I buy organic because it just lasts longer in the refrigerator, and it's said to have more nutrients in it. But I also like having my cashews, and I still buy, pistachios, which I like to throw in my mouth, and also almonds. I like to keep with those on the program. To replenish my electrolytes when I'm working out, I still go to my Powerade Zero. I try to stay away from the sugars, the carbs. They still make me tired and fall asleep. I don't know if this is the healthiest, but for me, it helps me maintain my weight. It's Jell-O chocolate pudding, but it has the 60 calories. So I'm also not loading up on a ton of sugar. So the sugar shows 4 grams of sugar. Also, I do the Jell-O, which is 10 calories and no sugar. The yogurts I buy don't have to be this brand, but I do the Oikos, and this one has a lot of sugar in it, which 18 grams of sugar, but sometimes I need those extra calories and I need that sugar because I'm working out. But if I don't need that extra sugar, I will go to maybe an 80 calorie, 12 grams of protein, Chobani yogurt, and this one has 7 grams of sugar if I don't need that extra sugar, but sometimes I do need that extra sugar. And I'm starting to add fruit back into my diet. So I've got blueberries or whatever fruit you choose. You're adding that back into your diet. On the 5 and 1, you're on a 1,000 calorie to 1,200 calorie program. We're now going to up our calories to maybe 1,500 calories for the next week. When I did that, I was still losing weight. I was 170 pounds, and that's my low. The high I want to be is 180. So whenever I get to 180, I just go on the 5 and 1, boop, dial right back down to where I want to be. If I get below 170, I do silly things like add an ice cream sandwich in before I go to bed, or I'll have a couple bowls of cereal before I go to bed. But if I'm below 170, people think I look too skinny and I lose that lean look. So know where you want to be. I also use my scale as a barometer. I like to weigh myself every day. If you like to do it once a week, that's fine. You could also use your pants as a barometer. Are the pants too tight? Are your pants too loose? How do your clothes fit? That's another way you could monitor yourself going back into maintenance. Now, when you transition to the 3 and 3, I still like to use the foods, but I also use the foods that I just showed you. On the 3 and 3, you're going to be more back to your 2,000 to 3,000 calorie diet, depending on your activity level, depending on your gender, depending on what your body weight is and what your goals are. But you're going to go back into that regular diet. I can't go back to having 4 slices of pizza. I go into a carb coma. So know how food is going to affect you. So I had pizza, all in the name of science. I had sugar cereal and ice cream, all in the name of science. I broke those addictions while on the program, and I can go back to them minimally, but my cravings are a lot less, so I don't need to go back to those. I was out to lunch with a friend, and I got a burger, and in the burger I didn't do the bun, I wedged it in lettuce, and she got the broccoli instead of the french fries. I said, why don't you get the french fries? She says, Matt, that stuff is crack to me. I can't go back to that. When I make brownies, I can't lick the spoon. So you need to know what your crack is or what your drug food is that you just can't go back to. For me, it's sugar cereal. If I go back to that, I might just get hooked again. So you need to know how food affects you and what you can do and what you can't do. I know some people who gave up the wine and the beer and the alcohol during the program. They lost their weight and they met their goals. They went back to the wine, they went back to their beer, they went back to their alcohol, and if they ever got past to the weight they didn't want to be, they could just dial back in. But you can go back to those things as long as you're not, doing what got you to be overweight. As long as you do it in moderation and learn how it affects your body. If you eat what you've always eaten, you will weigh what you've always weighed. So you have to change your habits. So here's a picture of some foods I use. I like cereal, so I go back to Honey Bunches of Oats. Probably not the best, but they don't put the weight back on my body. If you look in the background there, I've got some Power Protein pancakes. Instead of buying the pancakes that the company makes, you can go back to those. I buy EAS protein powder just because it has 300 calories per serving, and when I exercise, I need those extra calories. I still buy the foods that the program sells. You can go back to your quinoa. In the background, there's some unsweetened almond milk. I still use that. I haven't gone back to the milk. And I do some whole grain oats. So incorporate those things back into your diet. You can buy those things at the grocery store also. That way you don't always have to be shopping off of my webpage. But I still do because I love the foods. I love how they taste, but that choice is yours. This is my friend Tara. Not only did she lose the weight, she decided to become a coach, and now she's helping other people. This is my mother. She lost the weight and she's kept it off. She's done great in maintenance. This next guy is my friend Scott. He did a great job losing a lot of weight, and he's still maintaining. And these are my results. I didn't have far to go, but that 15 to 20 pounds really changed my life. And my friend Tim, he only lost 20 pounds and in a quick manner, but he's been maintaining and keep it off because he's changing his habits of health. My friends Bill and Mary Jo, they love tennis. They're very active. They've changed their habits of health, and they've been maintaining really well. Diane Romeo, fantastic story. She is maintaining her weight. This next lady I really think is amazing. She lost over 100 pounds and she's kept the weight, and she is also a coach. And Dawn Donnelly is also a health coach. She lost the weight and she's kept it off. If you lose the weight and you decide to become a health coach, your chances of keeping the weight off are greatly magnified because now you have to be accountable to your clients as well. You don't have to, but it's always an option to supplement your income, keep your weight off, and help pay it forward and change other people's lives.